Teaching Toby is presented by Masterchannel. Instantly produce outstanding masters at masterchannel.ai. Use the code Matoma during checkout for 50% off.
Episode 2.
Episode 2. Cheers.
Cheers. Can you make an intro track? Of course you can. I gotta work on my singing.
What am I doing in this cabin with Matoma teaching me music production? Well, I'm Toby and I'm part of a DJ duo with my girlfriend. But producing music? Oof, that's hard.
But that's for another class. It was great. It was great. I felt it.
You want something else?
Yes. Oh, that's great. Fantastic. Fantastic, Tom. Yeah, okay. This is what happens when I push. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for that. Welcome back to episode 2 of this Masterclass. Class?
Class.
Yeah, class.
Toby, you are one truly amazing person.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Bring it more.
Come on. So how are you feeling? You feel energized?
I'm feeling good. Hey, I look at your piano and I look at my piano.
Okay, let's compare.
No, I can't take it out because then my system will crash.
Yeah.
But I bought this for I think it was like $10 or something, $20 around there. But does it matter what kind of MIDI keyboard you have?
I can go and I have a smaller keyboard too.
Yeah?
If you want me to.
No. Well, you can have the big one. I'll have the small one. But you can create. I can start with this $20 MIDI keyboard.
Yeah. Of course, you can even start with your keyboard. I would say if you have $20 or $40 or $60 to spare, buy a MIDI keyboard that can make your world easier. Because sitting on your laptop and trying to get this, you don't get the feel of it. It's hard to get the feel of that too. I'm from the classical world. Yeah. So for me, it's important to have some sort of keyboard that gives me the range of playing in the style that I'm used to.
It gives you freedom in jamming, I guess. You can.
Yeah. And usually when I'm on airplanes and I fly and the space is a bit packed, compact, that keyboard is a great solution.
Yeah, me too. All the time on my private jets, I bring this.
I gave you a homework.
Yes.
I gave you some homework.
Yeah, you gave me some homework.
Yeah.
And I created this with.
So I see that you've added hi-hats. Ooh, Toby Tobes! You're in the song.
Yeah, are we?
Yeah.
I put up the beat and the beat main. I tried to structure it a little bit so I have some overview of what I'm making. Yeah. But does this work?
Yeah, this works perfectly.
So the kick is a kick I found on Splice.
Great kick. Yeah, punchy. Not too subtle in the lower frequencies. This is gonna be great on the sub bass. Yeah. Clap, muscle. Yeah. Here we go. But I see here that you also have a couple MIDI. You have the hi-hats. Are these just sample tracks or?
No, these are just things I made with the built-in drum machine.
How does the sampler look like?
It's just a drum machine where it's.
But where do you get the sounds?
Deep tech. Because I figure out that's.
Well, if you open up here though, there you have it.
I didn't know. This is going to be a long ass tutorial.
So right now we discovered the plugin for
That's fantastic.
yeah. So here you have. So for people that don't know, these are all your insert.
Yeah.
So these are the plugins for your audio.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is your soft synth.
Yeah.
So right here, the soft synth is a sampler. So basically, it takes like your samples, and within Logic, they have created a synth where you are allowed to do tambourine, impact, noise, bleep, ride, tom low, tom mid, tom high, hi-hat,
Yeah.
hi-hat, and then it's aligned to your keyboard.
Yeah.
So when you play on the keyboard, basically it's the soft synth
Yeah.
that has all the samplers in a library. And here you also have your effects. You have a compressor, you have a drive, you have a high tone, low tone, crush, transistent, you have a high cut filter, rewind, delay, low cut filter, chorus, and reverb.
Do you put on the reverb here, or don't you put that in as an own, layer in the effect?
I would say that it depends on the plugin.
Okay.
Because some plugins have great reverb effects.
Yeah.
So my to-go reverb effect is...
Let me guess. Valhalla.
Yeah. I bought the whole Valhalla package, and basically they have sampled all of the 70s, 80s and the 90s reverbs, like the algorithm of it.
Oh, wow.
I just feel like that reverb sounds more authentic live than other reverbs. But I could easily just like use, so here in Cubase, reverb. I have a few though, because I bought over the years. So I have Abbey Road. This is a bit advanced. So this goes all the way back to when Abbey Road started in the 70s. And basically what you have different room setups. So you can do classic 60s vocals. And you can turn, this is the amplifier, and you can like turn it around, choose which wall you want it to face. Then you have different microphone setups, so you can choose where you want your microphone to be.
Okay.
Here you can change, like if you want the reverb to be like in different hertz. So from the spectrum of 12K all the way down to 5K to even 3. So that's a high frequency top cut, and then you have the bass cut. So you have that in Valhalla too, by low cut, high cut, but it's easier to understand.
It's a lot more, simple setup.
Simple setup.
Yeah.
If I didn't have these reverbs, my reverb would be either Roomworks or Reverence. So I would probably choose Roomworks, because that's the one I know the most.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if we then decide, okay, I don't want to use this reverb inside, and here you see, here you have the sample, the one-shot sample. So here you can go in and you can tweak it. So this is what I told you about, like the automation in the sample I did earlier, where I automated the sample volume.
Yeah.
So it decreases.
What would you put a reverb on here? Or would you?
Yeah, I would. So you have created a more sophisticated drum loop than I did.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I just did this because I didn't know where you were gonna take it. So okay, now it's. If I were to put a reverb here, I would put it on the snare. So let's just say I'm using Valhalla. And then if you find a reverb within your DAW, then you have a mix, you have a decay and a pre-delay. So that's what we're gonna focus on. So the mix is basically if I have 100% on the snare, so the signal I'm sending to the reverb is then the output signal from Valhalla and sending further, because I have a chain here combined with all these pre-1, pre-2, pre-3, pre-4. So this is basically my chain on the audio track, on this snare track.
Yeah.
So if I start with a reverb, the signal that, so the sample that is sending from the track to the first pre here, same with you. You have on your DMD, the drum sampler,
yeah.
You have an enveloper, then compressor, fat effect, bit crusher, chorus. But you, as you can see, you only have compressor and channel EQ on the mix.
So I guess that you don't want a reverb on top because you don't want to compress, for example, the reverb. You want the reverb at the bottom, or
it depends what effect you are looking at. But I usually, if I listen to the snare without the reverb,
yeah,
and say, okay, there's some EQing here that I would like to do because I can hear some noises that I don't like. Pull up a EQ. I'm using FabFilter Pro Q. If you don't have FabFilter, let's just say that I'm looking at an EQ. EQ here in Cubase. And here I have a function where it says spectrum. So that gives me a perspective on the frequency that the sound is having. So you can see the spectrum from 20K to 20 Hertz. That's what the humans can process.
Yeah.
And within that, you can see that this snare has a lot of 250 Hertz and also a range between 2K and 5K. I feel right there. That hurts. So I go there to around 2,700 Hertz.
Why do you narrow it that much?
Because I only want to take out the frequency that sounds shitty, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't want the sample to, like, in quality hurt. So for me it's important to just go here, find the frequencies that I, like, my ear feel, and use your ear. You just, like, listen to it and okay. Oh shit. That frequency, like, messes with my ear. You know?
Yeah.
And then you just drag it down.
Okay.
So, and I would probably take out, like, between 5 to everything from, like, 3.5 decibel to, like, 10 decibel, depending on the frequency. So, there we go.
Ah, nice.
So, way smoother. So, same, I can do that a couple times. So if just as a tip, if I know that 2,600 Hertz, there you have some rumble in the jungle, then I probably know that I will have the same on the multiple.
Yeah.
So I will probably have it around 5K. Let's just have a listen.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah. So that's just math.
But do you do this on every layer?
Not every layer, but depending on the sound. This sound is very harsh.
Yeah.
You know, it takes a lot. Like the information here is so on point. So if you want the snare to sound as good as possible in the mix,
Yeah.
I would try to take out the frequencies that make it sound like
Yeah.
either boomy or make it sound like very harsh in the top end, or because there's a lot in the track going on. So you have hi-hats, you have snares, you have toms, you have kicks, and then on top of that you have vocals, you have bass lines, you have synths.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of frequency. There's a lot of information that's
fighting for the same space.
Fighting for the same space, exactly.
Yeah.
And you don't want them to fight in the same frequency.
Yeah.
So here you go. And then you see here, you have the curve.
Yeah. Okay, so let me try to find the. Can I make it a little bit narrow?
Yeah, narrow to around 5.
Yeah.
And then go up in the frequencies and try to find the frequencies that sticks out.
Yeah, there's a lot of. Oh my God! Did I find it? I find like it's like finding Waldo, finding the frequency. Yeah.
Yeah. So the frequency you found down here is basically multiplied 4 by or 3 by this. So you probably found around like 800 hertz.
Okay.
Or was it down here? 1500.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I found the 6K. So if you multiply 1600 with 3, 4.
I can do this. That's no problem. I have a calculator.
That's
6,400.
Yeah, and what did I say?
6,400.
Yeah. So I found the frequency up here. So what you can do then is drag down. But what you do, if you start taking out too much information in the sample and you start like, you can get phase.
Yeah.
And that creates more noise because you take out the natural noise within the sound. So you don't want to take out too much noise. So I would probably, since that down here it wasn't too bad, I would probably just take out the 6.4 and even narrow it more down to maybe like 7. And then I would take out like around 3,000 here. And also narrowed out. Because this sound, for me, it didn't sound too bad.
Yeah.
My snare sound was, because you choose a hi-hat sound.
Yeah.
And a hi-hat is usually more, like if it's a good sample from a hi-hat, you usually around 8K, like 6K to 8K, there will be like some frequency that sticks out and you can take it down.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you start compressing a track,
Yeah.
it compresses the signal and it compresses the waveform. So the information you then have isn't the information you had in the beginning.
Ah, okay. Yeah. So now I have more room.
So when you start taking out frequencies that gives the signal noise, you then pushes the signal. When you then push the signal, you have more room.
Okay.
Because you're taking out the stuff that makes it. But then again, it depends on the sound you want. Like if you want a distorted.
Yeah.
So now we've done the EQ on the snare.
Yeah.
We have that as the first parameter on my channel. Then I would probably, if it was me, I would probably do a reverb, and then I would do a compressor. If it was on a vocal, I would probably do the reverb at the end. So, but right now I kind of want the snare to have that effect, but also afterwards compress it, so it compresses also the reverb for an effect. So if now I bypass the reverb on the track, so that basically means like it's passive and not active. So if I now the mix is 100%. If I drag it down to a 0, it means that nothing is sending to the Valhalla reverb, and it's the same. So now it's 12% of maximum.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the decay, that basically means like the tail on the reverb. So if I drag it down to, say, 0.4 seconds, that's the tail of the reverb.
Yeah.
So the longer the decay, the longer the tail on the reverb is.
Yeah.
And so for example, a smaller room, like say this room for example, would probably have a tail of 0.2,
Yeah.
2.5.
But where would you put the reverb for this, or wouldn't you put any reverb on it?
I would probably have like a longer tail to make a bit more effect on it, just like so you can hear the reverb effect,
Yeah.
and it also gives a nice tension, and it gives like a dramatic type of feeling to the snare. But I would automate the mix.
Yeah.
So for example, I would have maybe like, and then
Nice.
you know,
Yeah.
just to add some tension,
Yeah,
just to
yeah.
add some flavors inside the snare, so it gives, so suddenly it's almost like a new sound,
Yeah.
just
that's
with the
cool.
reverb.
That's awesome. I
And
like
then,
that.
And then also as a tip, I always, if I want some delay on the snare, I usually bring the delay in before the reverb, because then if I bring the delay in after the reverb, that means the delay signal I'm giving to the snare also will have the reverb effect on it. So that makes it more messy. I want the snare to be punchy, tight. I want it to ooh, bam, da da ba bam. But I would like to have a delay. So here I go. H delay, it's a great delay. I don't think it's too expensive. If it's expensive, then just find a delay within the program, drag it down to like, I would say like 10. And here you also have like the different type of modulations on the delay. So here you have 1/8 sampler to with the trim. Here you have so basically that's the rhythm within the within the step formation on the delay. So it gives 164 with the timer. Then you can drag it down to 2 bars.
Yeah.
So it's just like the amount of delay and the difference on the delay. So
And here you can just test around what
test around
for,
what
yeah.
works for
Yeah.
you. Like I usually do on a snare. I like 1/8 with the like the dot.
Let me hear what you would do on your snare.
And now I've kind of turned off I've turned off the reverb so you can hear the difference. And even here, I kind of want to modulate and automate like the delay, so it follows the rhythm in the snare, within the snare.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah.
And then
do you change? You I guess you go back in later and make it the smoother, the automation.
Automation. Yeah, I can like.
Or do you do it by hand like that?
I like doing it by hand because then it feels alive, you know.
Yeah.
It like, and then I can also just write it to the track. So if I like the way it sounds, I can just go here, edit, render in place, and then I render the whole track if I like it, because then I know, okay, I can't do anything more with it. Because if you start micromanaging and you're in the creative process, then sometimes the end result is not as good as the result you were when you were creative.
Yeah, exactly.
So
you want to kind of put those creative limits on yourself, so you're kind of stuck with a sample.
Yeah, stuck with a sample, and like that was my creative. That was my creative choice at the moment, because I thought like that sounded great. So, and then if I just change the reverb and the delay, so I changed the placement here in the track. Just listen to the difference. Because now the reverb is affecting the delay.
Yeah.
So, and if I change it back, the reverb is the latest step in the send of the track. So the EQ comes first, then the delay, and then the reverb. And then if I put on a compressor here, say for example, I want this to be really crunchy.
Yeah.
There are these amazing Swedes that just thought like, oh, we are the kings of EDM. Let's make a plugin that sounds amazing on everything and cranks up the volume and just like compresses it, and it does everything. You can crunch it and and it's called the sausage fattener.
You like that one, huh? Oh yeah.
I think it's I think it's a lot of fun because it's so simple. You can like
Yeah.
And basically what it does, it's a limiter that limits the track. It pushes the volume. It just cranks the volume, and like it takes the information and just like squeezes it and makes it super loud. But it also colors it. So it gives it a transition, you know? So, for example here. Yeah! You know, so there's a lot of fun you can do, like. But I would probably just use, like for me, like on a safety net, I would probably just use a regular compressor.
Yeah.
And compress it like with a ratio to like 3 and put the attack on like. But now it starts to get complicated, because what is a compressor, you know?
What is a compressor?
What does a compressor do? Simply, a compressor is used to compress a sound's dynamic range. That is, to make the louder and quieter parts of the sounds perform closer to each other in level. And
that's what I said. Just kidding.
No, it wasn't what you said. So on this snare track, for example, like I usually never use. Most of the time, I only use compressing on bass, on synths, on like vocal, because I've already taken a sample that probably has been processed from before, and then I'm gonna process it even more, and then I'm gonna put it on a multi-compressor at the end of the chain on the master.
Okay.
So what I then do is compress, compress, compress.
Yeah.
Equal.
And that doesn't sound good, I guess.
No,
Or it depends.
it depends. Again,
Yeah.
you're like,
There's no rules.
there's no, in music there is no rules.
Okay.
What I could do then is to distort it. And I kind of like distortion. So I go in here, search for distortion, and I find something called Magneton. This is within the plugin, I think. Yeah.
Within the DAW.
Within the DAW. Yeah. Ooh. Toms, I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I know what a DAW is.
Yeah. So here we go. Drums, snare punch. It gives it that crispiness, you know?
A little bit extra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we have a basic drum loop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in Cubase here you have MIDI sampler, or just like, it's basically called sampler track.
Logic have something familiar. I think it's, I don't remember what it's called, but if you drag it in here, yeah, quick sampler.
Quick sampler, yeah. Boom. And then so let's say that we are gonna play in the key of C minor. C minor. And this sample is in F. Then, okay, this is a lot of information to take. Can you find where you can pitch the sample down 5 semitones?
Yes.
You can?
Well, I'm gonna delete this. Yeah, okay, so this, no, that's a C.
Yeah.
D?
D, yeah.
F?
No, E,
F.
F.
Yeah, C, D, E, F.
Yeah. And then you have,
Oh, then we have, oh, okay, now, okay, I know this because you taught me last time. Then I go to this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
yeah,
So 5 semitones
down.
down.
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly. Did it change?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 5. Now you're in the D.
Wow.
Yeah. So here it's in an F,
Yeah.
and then transport it down 5 semitones to a C.
Yeah.
Now it's in C.
Yeah.
What do you want? C minor or major?
Major.
Major?
I mean, minor.
Do you want to make a... let's do minor. Okay, so now we have the bass line.
Yeah. Or we have a bass sound.
Yeah, bass sound, and we
which
have...
we sampled from
a splice.
From a one-shot
Yeah,
sound from Splice.
Yeah, one sample, one note sample from Splice.
Yeah. So now, in this process here, you have now a drum beat. Do you just jam out?
I usually do.
Yeah. Because you don't like your, do you like your bass to come from a sample or like a sample loop, or do you like to do it on your own?
I like to find a sample or a sound that I like and then modify it.
Okay.
And then make my own loop.
Okay.
I would probably just like... Oh, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Woo!
That was groovy.
Or you can even do like...
How do you decide? Yeah, that's the question. How do you decide? Yeah.
No, that was just my head saying like, okay, where do I want to take this? And and I started hearing melodies, and I can also do. Oh.
Oh, that's deep. Okay. Woo! Yeah.
Now we're creating. Woohoo! Since I have my background, like I immediately hear melodies in my head and I play them. Yeah, but for you can probably like hear it as well, but you don't know how to get there, you know?
No.
Because you don't know, okay, if I'm playing this note, then I know it sounds, okay, then I know that the next note is this and then this. So you probably have to use a little more time to figure it out.
Yeah.
But as long as you use your ear and you know the vision for the direction you want to take, when it comes to the rhythm of the sample and the rhythm of the bass, then it just takes you a little more time to figure it out, you know?
Yeah.
So just remember, and here are like, now we're also getting into musical theory. So C minor is C, D, D sharp, F, G. Then you have G sharp, you have A sharp, and then C.
Okay.
If you have a hard time, like, oh, what is in the key of C minor? C minor, key, scale, keyboard. Picture, there you go.
Google is your best friend here.
Yeah, Google is your absolutely best friend. So there you have them.
Oh wow, okay, that's way more simpler.
Yeah, so you can just put up this picture and then you see the keyboard in front of you and then you know, okay, those are the notes in C minor scale.
Yeah, okay. So I'll create a bass line using those keys.
Yeah.
Nice, I'll try.
Because now we have chosen to make the song in C minor.
Yeah, but I could have changed that later if I figure out like, okay,
I
find something.
Yeah,
really cool.
if you then later on find a vocal where you want to, okay, the vocal shout is in, for example, D minor. Yeah. Then you just transpose the whole thing 2 semitones up.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, cool. I'll try.
Cool. Toby Tobes! I'm excited for you!
I like a proud dad.
I'm like a proud dad?
Yeah, or I don't know if you're proud yet, but
How are you doing?
Let's
have a listen.
Yeah, let's have a listen. Okay. Just changing. You know, I think this was hard, man.
Oh, this is Dirk McGirt. Yeah, but now you can hear that the balance between the different elements are not in shape.
Yeah, now it sounds better. It was good.
I like the bass line though. Boom, 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 boom. Was that your melody?
Yeah.
No, like, was that your melody? Like, in your creative process, was that what you were thinking?
No, because I had one earlier that was more dun 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 dun. But I just jammed out. And
ooh, that's sexy. I ended up transposing it back to F because my kick was so sometimes also the kick, the frequencies of the kick, because the kick is also in a key. So you can have a kick that is in G, F, C. So it depends on the frequency and if it clashes with the bass line. So you kind of want to have like a bass line and a kick that aligns perfectly together, so they complement each other, so they don't fight in the same frequencies.
Yeah, but did you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I changed it back to F. I kind of like that.
That was nice.
Yeah, boom, boom. I got inspired by you, like the what you were. So let me just record that.
That's groovy.
That was way better than what I had. Listen to what I had. Toby, you inspire me! I feel energized, I feel pumped. This is exactly...
So that was my bass line.
So yeah, basically, like, because my bass line was this.
Yeah. It's a little bit more...
Ooh, I kind of like the ending
yeah.
there. So...
Yeah, I did the same thing. I just moved some of the MIDI, what do you call it? MIDI keys, MIDI. Oh, that's nice.
That's fucking cool. Actually, there. Take me alive by getting high. But I to be honest, I kind of like the I feel like this bass line suits. Oh, I'm actually lying here, Toby. I'm not playing in F.
You're such a liar.
This sample isn't in F. It's in E.
Oh.
That's very strange. Take bass F. Doesn't it say F there?
Yes, it does.
That's an E. So we kind of need to do this all over. No, but then your track is basically in a B minor and not a C minor.
Okay.
Yeah. So since you transposed it 5 semitones down.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, now you layered it, right?
Yeah, so basically I just found a synth that I like, and I kind of like, so.
Okay, so when I have a bass, I can go into my, now I just go into my presets in Logic, and then I go to synth, I go to bass, then I can copy this down here, and then I can go here, and then I can go to synthesizer, bass, and say deep synth bass. Okay, that was terrible.
Yeah, classic funk boogie bass. And then you go into alchemy. There you go. Let's say you want like a... That's pretty cool.
So now you're just having fun with the knobs.
Yeah. This is great. What the... How does that sound together? Huh? Was it good?
Yeah, that's cool.
Maybe the bass line isn't the strongest.
No! No, but I want to change that until next time. The sound is cool.
The sound is cool. So,
yeah, I gotta jam a little bit more when you go to bed.
Yeah, you have to jam a little more. But basically, like, you understand the concept of layering a bass. So, because right now here, it's very sub-heavy.
Yeah.
So it's very driven by the sub, and that's great.
Yeah.
When you're in the club, you want like the sub bass to be pumping out the air so you can feel it, and you can like, oh wow, I'm just in the zone. But you also want the
Tops.
The tops,
I guess.
So basically, you want like the higher speakers to play also the bass line.
Yeah.
Because then it gives the punch, and because the sub gives the oomph, and the higher speakers give the punch. Ah, this is Dirk McGirt. Woo! They see me in the club. They see me in the club. So you understand what I'm saying? The sub bass you want in mono. So like so you have stereo and you have mono.
Yeah.
That's basically stereo is like two signals.
Two speakers left and right.
Yeah, left and right. And then mono is like just
one.
Most of the times I think like having a mid-frequency bass complementing the sub bass is always a good like kind of like rule. Yeah,
rule of thumb.
Yeah, especially like when you have that few elements within a track as a tech house song where you don't want, like the bass line is the most groovy element in a tech house song. That's the element and sound that people listen to.
Yeah.
That grabs you.
Yeah.
It's the bass. And I did the same thing on the kick. I have the main kick here. But then I kind of felt like when I was playing with the bass, I kind of felt like it kind of disappeared a little in the mid frequency. So I just added like this mid frequency bass, and I gave it some distortion, and I took away the low frequencies and like the frequencies that I felt like was a bit boomy. Yeah. Just to not interfere with the other kick, and then I found like the frequency where I like, okay, this is the mid frequency I'm looking for. So without this is how it sounds originally. Yeah. So just So without and then with.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have some work to do, guys. Until next time, we have to create a bass line. We have to check out the frequencies in the EQ. We have to add some audio effects or layers, reverb, delay, distortion, whatever you feel like, with the automation. Yeah, I don't know what it's called.
Automation.
And then maybe also look into, or not maybe, I mean, I will look into layering some bass lines and maybe a kick as well if I feel for it, you know, now that I'm starting to get it, I hope. So yeah, I hope you join me on this ride because I need some help for this.
Teaching Toby is presented by Master Channel. Instantly produce outstanding masters at masterchannel.ai. Use the code MATOBY during checkout for 50% off.